Okay, so Gabe, why don't you introduce yourself?
All right, what's up, guys? I am Gabe McKenny, natural pro bodybuilder, founder and owner of Team Peak Natty. I'm 21 years old, and I'm known on social media for promoting staying natural, being a bodybuilding and lifestyle coach for men, women, really anybody natural. I have a lot of clients. I put quite a few of them on stage, but plenty of them are, just people trying to take the gym serious as well. And then I also, just post about health, fitness, education, and really, anti-PEDs, anti-steroids, anti-peptides, things of that nature.
Okay. Is there something in particular you have against peptides?
Yeah, we can get into that. So there's a lot to talk about there. So people just promote peptides and talk about, all the good things that they do, which is true, right? There's a lot of promising ones, a lot of ones that, may help a ton of people in the future, specifically stuff like BPC 157, TB 500. But right now, they are so unregulated. It is not safe to put these things in your body. So they all come from China. I don't care if it says it's USA made, they all come from China so that they don't have to be regulated in the same way that they come from the US. A lot of peptide companies are starting to say, made in the USA now. The way they're able to get away with saying that is they repackage them in the USA.
Yeah.
As you might know, a lot of places do that. So like clothing companies, supplement companies, they'll make it in China and then they'll repackage it in the USA and ship it out of warehouses in the USA, and they say made in the USA. But here's the problem. So they have tested and done independent studies on multiple of these peptides, and things like BPC 157 have come back with lead in them. Things like CJC have come back with 30% of the dose. Things like retatrutide have come back with, other things in them like heavy metals. And so the thing about injecting these things is, if you get one of these vials and you're injecting stuff into your body that is not these peptides, like you can run into serious side effects.
Oh, yeah.
Like your immune system shutting down. I've seen a ton of digestive issues with peptides. One common symptom I've seen is people's resting heart rate shooting up through the roof.
Oh, really?
Especially with retatrutide, the one that people are obsessed with recently. And regardless of the fact that you could be injecting heavy metals into your body and this stuff isn't 100% pure, who knows what else could be in it? There's also the fact that different people have different responses to things, and your immune system could recognize these peptides, even if they are 100% pure. This is saying that, you got lab grade stuff. This is good quality stuff. You can still have a reaction to them that somebody else wouldn't have, due to your immune system and your body recognizing it as, oh my gosh, like this isn't like testosterone. My body already makes testosterone. If you're injecting it, okay, your natural production shuts down, but really, in the normal doses, you're fine. TRT is great, I think, for older men that need it. Not teenagers though.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, and you can have all these responses.
Get it. They develop man boobs, then they come to me for surgery for that. So I'll promote it.
Gynecomastia, yeah. But, so it's just wild that people are so quick to inject things into their body that they don't need, when you just, actually go to the gym, actually follow a calorie deficit, actually eat healthy instead of, just spamming your body with peptides. You can achieve these things risk-free.
Yeah. So the stuff we give in our clinic, we use local compound pharmacies that test all their stuff, and it's made locally, but it ends up being like, people will be like, well, I can get something at my gym for like half the cost or a quarter of the cost. Like you can, but we can tell you that this pharmacy is US regulated, so they can't put those things in. And what they tell you they're giving you, they who knows, they might be off, but to a certain degree. How did you get into this? Sorry, we took a B-rail off the start.
It's a good hook.
Peptides
Peptides are a good topic right now.
Yeah.
How did I get into this? So I was just a normal gym bro for a while, right? Loved lifting in high school for high school sports. I played football, I wrestled, and I ran track. We were Arizona State champs for football my senior year.
Where'd you go?
Arizona Lutheran Academy, ALA. And then I was second in Arizona for wrestling. I
What
lost
weight class?
175.
Okay.
I lost to a 4-timer, so I wasn't mad. And then we were like runners up in track as well. So that was cool. But
It's got a pretty
through those
school,
sports, like I still made time to, hit the LA Fitness, all the time, every single weekend, because I just truly loved it. And then I ended up playing lacrosse in college at GCU.
Okay.
I didn't play in high school, but I just walked on at GCU.
You picked it up?
Yeah, I just picked it up. I wasn't very good, but I just wanted to be part of the team. And the whole time playing, all I cared about was just lifting and bodybuilding without bodybuilding, basically just taking the gym serious. And then whenever I quit playing lacrosse my sophomore year, I was like, man, I'm doing everything bodybuilders are already doing. Like I might as well hop into a show. And, I had social media is great for inspiring people. And I was inspired by other creators to compete. And so I ended up competing and running a show, and I went pro in the Natural League for a show. Started posting actually after I competed and, gained some followers on social media. And then I decided to go all in on monetizing it through fitness coaching.
Yeah.
And, not use my criminal justice degree and, pursue a normal job. So I was able to monetize that.
Overrated.
Yeah. I was able to monetize that and work from my phone and computer. And, doing that, I work for myself. I build my own schedule. So guess what happens when I get to do that? I get to prioritize the gym and be a full-time bodybuilder while, working for myself as well. So then I ended up doing a big prep, like got the most peeled I've ever been in my life, experienced every side effect that you get from getting to single digit body fat, crashing hormones, everything of that nature, all that stuff that happens as a natural. And I ran 2 shows. One of them I took second overall and then third in a different division. And then I went to San Diego, ran a second show, and I took second and third again. But it was a really good season. Got a lot of content out of it, grew my following. And I put a few people on stage while I was in prep. I worked with like a lot of more lifestyle clients. And then after that show ended, I just, went all in. Like I started going way harder, right? Because when your attention is so...
How long ago was that? Because you're 21, so this can't be that many years ago.
This is like last November.
Okay. All right.
This is like last November. Yeah. My business has basically exploded over the last 3 months.
Nice.
I'm still pretty new to this, but yeah. So after those shows, less attention on competing, on bodybuilding, on having to do all this cardio and be hungry all day, right? I get to go all in on the business and just started getting elite results because I've invested so much into myself knowledge-wise, whether it be podcasts. Oh yeah. While I was prepping for months, every single day, just listening to podcasts while I do my cardio.
Yeah.
Reading stuff online, YouTube videos, information from reputable sources on social media. But the main ways I've got my knowledge is I have paid for a mentorship from another good coach out here in Arizona, called Brady Oki. Shout out him, and his company is called Take Uncommon Action. Okay. So I took like his mentorship, to learn more about coaching, be a good coach. And then I also took J3 University, which is by this bodybuilder called John Jewett. Super reputable guy in the fitness industry. And he basically released this course type of thing to educate, the next generation of science-based coaches. He's a really good guy.
Are they both natural based too?
No, he's not natural. Okay. No, he's
he's
like actually one of the top enhanced bodybuilders in the world. So with that J3 University, I got to learn a lot about steroids and stuff like that, as well as, normal non-steroid related bodybuilding stuff. And then I also mentored under this coach who coaches, enhanced guys as well, named Derek Noble, and his company Noble Bodybuilding. And then, using all those mentorships, all the information I gathered, the rest just really comes from my own self-experience. My bodybuilding coach, AJ Morris, who's a natural, like one of the top natural coaches in the world. And then client experience, right? The more guys you put on stage, the more people you help lose weight, the more people you help build muscle, word of mouth, the more experience you gain. And then, really just, I've walked the talk with the 3 shows I've done, gained a lot of experience, right? I dieted for like almost 7 months. I went from like 230 at the end of my bulk to like 192 was my lowest weight. So yeah, lots of self-experience. And now
that 192 is for the weigh-in?
No, there's no weigh-in well, there's like a weight cap, but that was just like my all-time low.
Okay.
So yeah.
Did you have a goal? Was that your goal?
No, I don't. It's just like, it's about the look, it's not about the certain weight. I tell this to a lot of lifestyle clients. Like sometimes guys will be so worried about their weight, you know, they want to get to a certain weight. I'm like, stop worrying about the weight. It's an arbitrary number. It doesn't mean anything, right?
It's more body composition.
It's about your body composition. It's about how you feel. It's how you're performing in the gym. So yeah.
How tall are you?
6 foot.
Okay. So I got some work to do. No, do you see any differences between what you're doing and the power lifters? I know they focus on squats.
Yeah, squat, bench, deadlift.
Yeah.
Yeah, bodybuilding's way harder. So power lifters, they get to eat whatever they want and they get injured all the time. Bodybuilding's harder, it's better, you're tougher, and you look good.
Okay. And get injured less?
Yeah, but power lifters, it's not if you get injured, it's when you get injured.
Yeah. I mean, even like random people doing stuff and they're like, oh, I just got into this. Yeah. I'm like I stopped doing cleans because my wrist just started hurting all the time. It was helping with wrestling. I wrestled growing up, but I really like doing cleans, and it's just like, oh, my wrist just cracks all the time right now. I got shoulder problems now. So I stopped doing some of that stuff, but I was never like I always lifted, but was never into like bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's fun. Like obviously I think everybody should have some type of fitness in their life for what it does, obviously for the health reasons, but mentally, man, like when you start your day off with, movement, it just makes your rest of your day so much better. If you have like physical goals that you're working towards, that discipline's gonna spill over into every area of your life, mentally, your work, and everything of that nature. So I think all fitness is good fitness. My dad is like a cyclist. My mom runs. That's all cool. Like, once I retire from bodybuilding, maybe I'll rip like, the new thing is like high rocks. Maybe I'll rip like an Ironman or something like that.
Don't do Ironman, dude. Don't do Ironman.
You do like a lot of plastic surgery for Ironman or what?
No, it's not good for your body.
Yeah,
it breaks down your kidneys. Like marathon running, Ironman, ultra marathons. I'm just like, you're kind of proving a point, but it's not good on your body overall. Like joints, organs. It's just, I don't know. Unless you're in a Kenyan village, then you just get like really good at marathon running. So are you still an undergrad? Are you still at GCU?
No, I graduated.
Okay. Wait, you're 21?
Mm-hmm. I graduated in 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I graduated in 6.
Yeah. Graduated in 3 years. Don't use a lick of my criminal justice education. And now I am a full-time bodybuilding coach.
Yeah, you're having fun, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Makes you that much better at it is because you're having fun.
Yeah, it's been great. Really, like I don't do any outreach. I don't do any, cold DMs. I don't have a team. All my clients come through organically purely because of my results. Like results speak for themselves. You can't deny public proof. And, people come to me when they want to get on stage and come in lights out, or when they need to lose weight. And I'm proud of the service I offer, and I love working one-on-one with people because you get really close with them. And most of my clients stay with me year round if they have the finances to do so. And like it's honestly my dream job and exactly where I think God wants me to be.
Nice. What's your personal like regimen workout wise?
Oh yeah. So I'm on push, pull, legs, rest, upper, lower. So I lift 5 days a week, right? Natural or enhanced. You're not growing in the gym. You're stimulating muscle growth in the gym. So rest is very important for the CNS as well, right? Heavy load in the gym, your CNS fatigue will build up. And so if you don't have, 1 to 2 days off during the week, you will start to see signs of fatigue build up. And so, yeah, it's important to have rest days, not only to grow and recover from the gym, but also for your nervous system, which is your CNS. So I do push, pull, legs, rest, upper, lower. And then, you know, I competed last year. So these next couple of years, I'm just focused on business and coaching, and then, which means growing, right? I'm not dieting. If you're always dieting, you can't grow. So I am bulking, and my current training day macros are 3,200 calories. I think like 405 carb, 230 protein, and 65 fat.
Okay.
And then 1 hour of cardio a week on the bulk. So I usually do like 3 20-minute sessions.
It's the most boring thing in the world.
It's fun when you have carbs in you and you have energy on the bulk, but yeah, cardio sucks on the cut. I
was never a fan.
Cardio sucks, man.
Like
when you have no energy.
Did double sessions for wrestling and then like cutting weight sometimes, but like I built up to like 2 miles swimming because I was just like, at least if I'm in the pool, like I got to keep my head above the water to stay alive. Yeah. But like if you're on a bike or treadmill or something,
I
running,
usually do the stairs.
Yeah. The stairs
you
were...
just got to cover the time.
Yeah. The stairs were most calories spent and easiest like weight maintenance. I noticed. Do you ever... So you don't cut weight for any of the...
So it just depends what league you do. So most of the natural leagues, the leagues my clients compete in, there's no weight cap. But in the enhanced league, the NPC, and then there's like a natural side to it too, which I actually compete in now. There is a weight cap for my division, and that just means like you can't be over that weight. I'm not even close to it, right? Yeah. You know, but some of the enhanced guys that are like 250 lean, they will have to like water cut like wrestling in order to make the weight cap the day before, and then they'll rehydrate and carb up for the show the next day.
Yeah.
So it just
depends. So the weigh-in's usually the day before?
The weigh-in's the day before on check-in, yeah.
Okay.
And then it's tied to your height. So like I think for 6 foot.
Okay.
I think in the amateur leagues for my height for 6 foot, I can be up to like 208 on stage. So I'm 16 pounds off that, which is, you know, a lot of muscle.
Yeah. So they don't...
Naturally, like I probably won't get there.
It's actually pretty good. Like... Because, you know, for wrestling, it's just like you have your weight classes. Yeah. So you have people, even like the college I went to, the year before I got there, a kid passed away.
Yeah.
And he was like, he'd wrestled for like 8-9 years. And it was just maybe too much like caffeine and too much cutting weight. So we had like a bunch of tests they would do for body weight, body fat percentage and stuff. And they didn't have the fancy scales back then. So it's like the skin pinch. And then you do that before the season and they're like, well, this is
they
your
still
weight
do
class.
That. I remember doing that in high school.
Yeah.
You have to do that and you have to pee in a cup to show you're hydrated.
Yeah. It's everybody fails that at least one time. You just go in and piss out like IPA. And it's like, no, we can't accept that. But it's good they do, because like establishing weight classes is to put like similar sized people with each other. Mm-hmm. And then you just get to people like sucking so much, be like, oh, I'm going to be better if I'm like at this lower weight class.
Yeah, in bodybuilding, if you suck down too hard, you won't be able to fill out, and you'll lose your pop. You know what I mean? There's a balance between, you know, carbing up enough and being full and lean, and you know you're always going to be your leanest and your most shredded when you're like flat, but you want to bring it up a little bit, you know, and sacrifice, you know, maybe some small lines in order for that pop, right? That fullness that comes with carbohydrates and water.
So diet wise, you said you're about 3,500 calories a day.
32. Yeah.
So what's your, let's go through typical
back
meals.
In the day, I would, back in the day, I could gain weight on like 3,500 calories or more. And I could like diet, you know, on like 3,000 calories. But after you do a show, you know, as a natural, your thyroid gets a little shot. Yeah. So my maintenance is still, you know, kind of lower than it used to be.
Yeah. I was a slow 184. So I was like, oh, I'll just gain some weight and be a fast heavyweight. And over 2 months, I put on about like 40 to 45 pounds in like 2 months. No supplements, just just eating. I started off with like, just my breakfast was like 3 to 4 eggs. And I'm like, I just got to work at this like every day. And by the end of those 2 months, for breakfast, I was having a dozen eggs. These were all raw. Dozen eggs, a pound of pasta, and like 2 to 4 cans of tuna. Yeah. And then had a huge lunch and dinner, and I had snack in between. I was like full, but like ever since I did that, it threw my metabolism completely off. Like I can't, prior to then, I can just eat normal and I'll weigh like, I'll be really skinny. After that, I'm like, what did I do? Like now I got to go work out and stuff. What's your typical breakfast?
Just like sourdough and eggs, honestly. Sourdough and eggs, red meat and rice. You know, everybody asks, you know, guys that are shredded what they eat, but it's like everyone knows it's just meat and rice, sourdough, eggs, Greek yogurt, fruit, vegetables. So typically right now in the off season, right, enjoying a little bit more food than normal. Just eggs and sourdough, some ground beef and rice,
That's
ground
huge
beef
with
and potatoes.
Sourdough. It doesn't have the same glycemic index.
Yeah,
as
well,
other
too, it's
carbs.
fermented, so it doesn't bloat you like normal bread. So sourdough's method tastes delicious. One of my favorite things in the world is avocado toast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do that with the sourdough. But yeah, just ground beef and rice, salmon for the omega-3s and rice, salmon and potatoes, ground beef
What
and
kind of
potatoes.
rice?
Just white jasmine rice.
Okay.
Put some turmeric in it, make it yellow for the dopamine.
Gotcha. Yeah, I wouldn't expect rice. You always hear like low carb.
Oh, high carb. So so bodybuilding, if you want the best body composition, you're gonna want to do high carb, high protein, and then your minimum amounts of healthy fat. So it's gonna look to be about 20 to 25% of your caloric intake to be fats, and then whatever your body weight, maybe a little bit more in protein, and then you fill the rest with carbs. Carbs are key. So many people don't know that. But carbs are our body's primary source of energy, and you will feel amazing in the gym when you are properly filled with carbs.
Did you ever do the blood sugar monitoring?
No, I don't. I want to though. So when you're lean, you're pretty insulin sensitive. So your blood sugar doesn't spike in an insane way. And, your body's pretty good at shuttling those carbohydrates as glycogen to your muscles. But when you are overweight and kind of out of shape, your body digests carbohydrates differently due to, some not being as insulin sensitive. And, it can be important to monitor your blood sugar because a lot of times people eat carbs and get tired, right? That's a bad sign. If you guys are eating carbs and crashing right after, that could mean you're insulin resistant.
Yeah. Insulin resistant or you're eating shitty carbs. Like you can.
Yeah. What else? I'll run you through it all. So it's just like ground beef and rice. I don't do a lot of, this is a good topic. I don't do a lot of chicken anymore.
How come?
Ran chicken for almost every meal on prep. So I found out that most chicken in the US, is terrible quality, right? You've seen like the commercial farms. I don't care about that. But what I do care about is it's pretty much all soaked in bleach water. Do you know that on the chicken packages, it says like up to 5% retained water or like up to 6%, 8%? That retained water like in there is bleach water. And so unless you're getting air chilled chicken, or like local pasture raised chicken, which they only sell at Whole Foods, they don't even sell it at Sprouts anymore, your chicken is soaked in bleach water. So I said, miss me with that. I found a low fat salmon to replace as my lean meats, which is amazing anyway because it has omega-3s. That most people do not get enough of. And so my leaner meat is this salmon that has like 2 grams of fat per 4 ounces. And then my fattier meat is 93.7 ground beef. And then I just alternate those, eat those with either rice, potatoes, or sweet potatoes, and then maybe some Greek yogurt and frozen fruit at night. And that's my food every single day. Maybe some protein oatmeal if I'm on the go, right? Oats, and then you just mix protein powder into it. But yeah, those are my like 4 staples. I switch it up all the time. I don't eat the same things every day. How do I switch it up? I just rotate potato, sweet potato, and rice or sourdough.
Yeah. Anything special with the potatoes?
I just make sure you wash them.
Okay.
I'll wash them and put baking soda in there. that'll get a lot of germs and dirt off. You could do apple cider vinegar as well. You just put them in a bowl, fill it up with water, let them soak with the baking soda in there for a second. It also makes them more crispy when you cook them in the air fryer. And so you get crispiness and you get, the dirt and pesticides off your potatoes.
Use any oils?
Yeah, I do. You know about
Olive
seed oils,
oils,
right?
yeah.
I try to avoid seed oils, but they're not the end of the world. When they're the worst for you when they're fried, right? And they're heated up. High temps and they oxidize. That's pretty bad for you. So I have free meals, obviously. Like I'm not dieting. Like I'm not bodybuilders. Like, yeah, we're on diet, but we don't live in a box. Like today I was with someone and we went out to eat, I still go to restaurants, once or twice a week. But then when I'm at home, right, I stay on diet. When you can control it, you stay on diet. When you're out and about and you're bulking, like, you don't have to bring meal prep with you unless you're, prepping for a show. So I will go off diet, but when I do, the point is I really try to avoid fried food because everything is fried in high temp seed oils. If seed oils are normal temperature, in moderation, it's going to be fine. But at home, I cook with avocado oil. Yeah.
Avocado oil is your choice. Yeah.
Or I've cooked with ghee in the past. It's pretty good.
Ghee's
pretty good for steaks
too. Yeah, it tastes great. I personally like high end like olive oil.
Okay.
But it's mostly for like what I've been cooking in like the flavor profile.
Mm.
So
what type of food do you cook up?
I cook up all random stuff.
Okay.
I do most of the cooking in the house, even though my wife will deny that. But Sundays I try to make a few meals so that way we can heat it up during the week. Nelson's Seafood, they're pricey, but they have the freshest seafood in the desert.
Okay. I've had Buck and Ryder. That was pretty fresh.
So that's for the restaurant. Nelson's is like stuff I want to cook.
Okay.
If I want to go out and eat, Buck and Ryder is my spot. Yeah. Okay. I love oysters, and they have the best ones.
What's the best sushi spot? Because I love sushi. I went to sushi after my show. What's the best sushi spot in like Scottsdale?
I don't have honestly.
I've been to a lot, but
my favorite, seriously, is if you get the tray at Nelson's. It's a fish mart, so you're not paying like for the ambiance where all these like Japanese steakhouses are going for, and you get this like just monster tray that like it's bigger than anything you can order anywhere, and it's very good. Cowboy in Old Town had really good food too. That's strictly restaurant. If you're just gonna get food and eat by yourself, like always go to Nelson's.
Okay. Yeah. No, I tell this to my clients, but if you go out to a restaurant and like cheat on your diet, like have a free meal by yourself, you are fat. You're just fat. Like you got to go with your family, your significant other, a friend, for a special occasion. If you're cheating on your diet by yourself, you're just fat. Like yeah.
That's right. If you're going to the casino alone, you're a degenerate.
Yes. But if you're with friends, it's fun. It's a good time. Memories over calories sometimes in moderation, and it only adds to your life. But if you're a lot of people do struggle with food addiction because of how hyper palatable processed food is. And, once you start eating clean, once you start eating these delicious whole foods and you learn how to season and cook them, you realize how amazing you feel and you crave those foods instead. So it can be a learning process, and it can be hard at first if you're getting into eating healthy and getting into fitness, but it always pays off, and your cravings will change once you fix your gut health.
So these foods have been genetically designed because they become more addictive to eat. Like that's the American diet. Like that's all you're surrounded with. And that's why GLP-1 work really well, because they cut off, not only like they slow down your GI tract, they cut cravings. And that's a huge thing. It's not like cravings just for food. Like it's been shown for like alcohol, cocaine, tobacco. Like if you're trying to quit that with the GLP-1s, they're statistically like way more successful. So that it's just like what you're surrounded with and what you're willing to go through to give up certain things.
Yeah, I've seen that, especially with retatrutide really helping break addiction. But there has been a side effect popping up that comes with that fact that it helps you break addiction. How it does that is you don't get the same reward signaling from food. And guess what happens when your reward signaling gets played with? It can start to affect your emotions and any type of like reward you get from relationships. So it's been causing people to like fall out of love with their partners, messing up stuff with your dopamine and your reward signaling. And so
it's all along the dopamine.
Also, you get less like dopamine and reward signaling when you eat like good food. I personally don't want that. I love the feeling of eating a good meal. Like, also it does slow down your gut motility. So if you don't eat clean on these GLP-1s, GLP-3s, your digestive system can get seriously messed up. You can get IBS. You can get all these digestive issues if you don't eat super, super clean on GLPs.
Yeah, because you'll mess up your whole microbiome. Like you mess up your gut microbiome. There's a lot of unstudied things related to that. And I'm pretty sure in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to figure out a ton of things about that.
Also, for that reason, if you are a degenerate college kid and you like to take retatrutide, you're a retatrutard, as I call them. You cannot drink. It is so easy to get alcohol poisoning. Like we just talked about, it slows down your gut motility. Guess what happens if alcohol enters your system and your gut motility slowed down? It takes way longer to get rid of. That's how to get alcohol poisoning 101.
Yeah, I might have shared it on a previous episode, but the main way a lot of cafeterias and fast foods get away with the quality of food without getting as much food poisoning, they put a ton of laxatives in your food. So the faster it goes through your system, the less you have a chance of those bugs seeping in.
Yeah.
We found that out from one of our teammates. His name was Jose. Just like, Jose, what are you doing? He worked at the cafeteria, carrying 5-gallon jugs. And he's like, oh, just taking the laxatives to the cafeteria. And we were like, just cracking up laughing. We're like, no, seriously, what are you doing? He's like, no, this is how it works. We have to put the laxatives so the food goes through you. And we're like, oh, this is why I get the shits every time I eat here. But it messes, like, there's benefits from that going faster through your system, but it's also destroying your whole gut microbiome.
Yeah.
And that has a ton of like positive effects. When it comes to like cancer, like stroke risk, cardiac disease risk, like these are things that are probably going to come out soon.
Yeah. Well, some of them are out, and people like still think that the side effects aren't going to happen to them. People are just so stupid these days. Like they're willing to take these risks and they just think that they're invincible and it won't happen to them. And it's all fun and games until it does happen to them. Sometimes it is worth the risk, right? If you have a very overweight individual, 300-400 pounds, it is very worth taking, the potential side effects of GLP-1s. Like they're not going to die most likely, right? They may run into some side effects, but it's worth what the positive benefits they can have with the weight loss of them, losing their morbidly obese weight. But, people that don't need it, people that can do it completely naturally, it's like, it's all risk, no reward, right?
Yeah. If especially like people like BMI, like 25 to 35, even like younger, your BMI is not that high. If you're going to just take it to think like, oh, I'll sprinkle that on, those are the people that are going to lose muscle mass, bone density mass. You're just going to be unhealthy. You're pretty much starving yourself.
Yeah. I just had a client go from 250 to 150 completely naturally. Like it's completely doable. All you have to do is control what you want to put in your body. Like the thing about fitness, the thing about, your physique, the thing about your body is you can change it. Like there's if you just wake up one day and decide you want to lose weight, you can. There's nothing stopping you. And yeah, sure, like, peptides can, boost it with some people, but at the end of the day, you still have to do the right things in order to lose the weight. Like, you can't just slap a Band-Aid on a bullet hole, and you can't just continue to live your horrible, unhealthy lifestyle and expect some, peptide to be the bandage.
Yeah, it's got to be the motivation, because even with, like, when I did general surgery and training, where they do the stomach switch, like flip your stomach or cut out a portion of your stomach to cut your appetite. And these are like just physically restrictive surgeries you have done. And they're invasive. They might be quick, but they're invasive. But there's over a 33% failure rate. Yeah. So like, you cut the stomach down, people eat through that. Like give me a barrier. Like, if you're not motivated to like just maintain the healthy lifestyle, they gradually like push that stomach that used to be this big, now is stapled, so it's this big. And then over time, they just keep pushing that, and it's ends up being the same size. So it's a third, at least a third. That's the published data, is around a third, like fail like gastric bariatric surgery.
What's the most common type of plastic surgery you do now?
We do a lot of breast reconstruction for cancer patients.
Okay.
But it comes back to like the health and nutrition side. It seems like cancer, I haven't seen the statistics lately, but it seems like cancer is showing up more often, especially in younger patients.
People say it's the seed oils.
Yeah. It's something.
I think something huge that's overlooked a lot is like your water. A lot of people don't drink, good quality filtered water.
Yeah.
A lot of people drink out of plastic water bottles every single day. It's copious amounts of microplastics. But also, like, a lot of people drink out of like Britas and like poorly filtered water, from the tap. And like, unless you're having reverse osmosis or getting like spring water in glass bottles, you can really mess up a lot of your hormones, because think about how much water we drink and compared to like the food we eat.
I've reduced as much. I still drink out of some liquids out of a plastic bottle or something, but every time I like think about it like twice, like, oh, what am I doing? I'd rather go take 2 shots of tequila than drink this.
Microplastics.
I totally agree with you. And it's definitely like environmental stuff. Like we notice we have it's not a huge portion, but like asking people what they do for work, like for breast cancer, there's like a good portion of, I want to say stewardess, but what's the appropriate word? Airline
ladies.
Airline ladies. That's
the pretty
flight attendants.
The pretty airline ladies.
Yeah. That helped me when I'm struggling putting my luggage away, or kick me out of first class for drinking too much. A lot of them end up with breast cancer. They're saying because of the amount of time they spend away from, like, they're not in the stratosphere, but the higher they are, the closer they are to the radiation from the sun.
Oh.
So that could potentially do it. And there's no, like, again, no statistics showing this, but I'm just saying my personal practice, and like American Airlines, Southwest, like, works for this airline, works for that airline.
Have you seen the stuff about EMFs? Like electromagnetic fields?
Yeah.
Yeah,
some stuff.
Yeah, I'm not too educated in it, but people are saying like that's pretty bad for you as well. Like, whether it be driving a Tesla, whether it be your Wi-Fi, whether
I wish Ruse was here for this. He's read all about this.
Yeah, whether
like, I don't want a battery under my balls.
In your pocket. Yeah.
It makes perfect sense though. It's like, okay, what you're willing to give up, but the amount of patients I've had to take care of that have had breast cancer in their, at first it was like in their 30s. And then like last year, noticed a couple in their 20s. It's like, dude, that's that's really young to develop a cancer like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not fitting in unless you're from like some nuclear waste, like Chernobyl type thing. But outside of that, most common would be mommy makeovers, like either breast or tummy tucks. And we're probably the busiest practice around here for gynecomastia.
Yeah.
So we do a ton of gyno cases.
You do some bodybuilders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, a lot of guys on gear. They get gyno, acne, fat, ugly faces, loss of fertility.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone I know on gear has been trying to get his wife pregnant for like the last 2 years, completely infertile, doing all the protocols. He's off cycle, off everything. Still can't get her pregnant after like, cause you know, he had abused gear for like 10 years. So
What do you call it? Gear?
yeah, like gear, steroids, PEDs. It's all, you know,
yeah,
anabolics.
There's this testosterone optimization, and there's like you were talking
bodybuilder
about,
cycles. Yeah.
There's it's like going to like what we recommend actually for like men over 35, 40, 45 is you probably want to boost that testosterone to the upper levels, but a lot of the people out of the gym and like doing unregulated stuff, you're going at like 2, 3, 4 times the X what that is.
I know like I know some 20, 21-year-old kids that are, you know, taking a lot, and I think one of them showed me his blood work. He's ripping like 5,000 nanograms per deciliter. Shit. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. No, these guys, they take a lot. Like open bodybuilders, like the guys that people think of when they think of bodybuilders, like the guys that are like 280 lean, those guys are taking like, you know, 2, 3, 4 grams of gear on a prep cycle.
Holy shit. Yeah. I didn't know it was that high. And I knew it was high, but I didn't.
For the audience, TRT is like 100 to like 150 milligrams a week. You know, these guys are taking like a gram of test, so 10 times, you know, a TRT dose sometimes. So
it's like racehorse.
It's dose. Like, and then yeah, it's like they wonder why they get side effects, man. Like it's never enough for them too, you know.
Yeah.
And then they have to like retire young. With natural bodybuilding, I can compete into my 30s, man. Like I can be in my natural bodybuilding is a middle-aged man sport. I'll probably be in my prime when I'm like in my late 30s, right?
Yeah.
Because so many more years of training, you know, these enhanced bodybuilders, they got to quit the sport after like 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 years at the max in order to like, you know, save their health somewhat. So they're all done by like their late 20s, 30s. You know, for me, I'm not going to compete every year, but still keep competing into my 30s and, you know, dominate the top of the game one day without having to have this like ticking time bomb of my health where like I have to stop blasting gear, you know, grams.
That's kind of crazy because like even most pro athletes, no matter what sport, unless you're a running back in the NFL, like to peak out and retire before 30, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So there's definitely been more of a movement towards overall health and doing everything like well, rather than when we were in like the steroid age of like baseball and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Tom Brady playing really well after he's 40. It's like, okay, you got to take care of yourself, and multiple athletes doing it. Even like somebody like Joe Flacco can go play pro, but it's like have an expectation that like what you're doing that defines you, you can only do it till you're like 30.
Yeah. No, that's the reality when you're abusing your health. But here's the thing. A lot of their reasoning, like for a lot of them, their reasoning to going the enhanced route is for the love of the sport. They love the sport so much. They're willing to take the risk and, you know, risk their health for it because they want to chase it at the highest level. You love the sport so much, but you got to retire young. You know, you got to quit early due to health reasons, whether it be underlying conditions that come up or it be, you know, you need
joint
to
problems.
Get to a normal dose of testosterone instead of blasting all the time. And so like, it's kind of, you know, a little hypocritical, you know.
Yeah, and it's kind of
Or
like
hypocritical, sorry.
kind of selfish
Yeah.
too, like how could you in your like best mindset tell somebody that's like just getting into it, like this is what you got to do.
Yeah, they always say the same thing. They say, they love the sport and they're willing to risk their health and take the risk to compete at the highest level. They say they'll do it safely.
Yeah.
Get blood work. Okay. Yeah. That doesn't stop anything. And then they say that, they're just like, they're willing to take the risk. And it's like, it's pretty selfish if you have a significant other. It's pretty selfish if your future wife one day wants to have kids and you go infertile. Like, obviously there is protocols to not be an idiot with it, but like at the end of the day, I always tell the kids that I'm trying to, convince to, not take the enhanced route. Like, it's all fun and games until the side effects happen to you. Like, you think you're invincible, you think you're going to do it safe, and you think you're not going to get side effects until it happens.
Yeah.
And then what when it happens?
Especially having kids. Like, that's why anybody that asks me under like 35, I'm like, even with like the low dose, it's like, it might make you infertile for the rest of your life. So if you're thinking about having kids, like, you shouldn't even mess around with it. Like, this can shut down your reproductive stream. And that's kind of like, just think of it as an evolutionary side effect. Like, just hold off at the very least.
So you guys do plastic surgery and you have like a HRT clinic?
Kind of like, yeah, HRT wellness.
Okay.
So
do you guys do like blood work and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We start off with blood work. Cause like if you start somebody, most people are on like GLP. But like if their thyroid hormones are off or their testosterone is off, and then you didn't check for that, but the GLP isn't working, then you got to like backtrack and it ends up costing them a lot more money. But so we again, our services cost more than like ordering something online.
Yeah, of course.
But we do the proper testing and
it's not gray market.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these like, it's so easily accessible.
I didn't know how
you can go online and go to 30 different websites and just order whatever peptide or whatever SARM, or, even in some cases, order whatever steroids you want to your house these days. And you just have to reconstitute it with backwater, antibacterial water, and inject it. And so people do it without any guidance, without any research. They just order it to their house and get to injecting.
It's absolutely nuts. I still can't get it. I don't know how it's.
But
like
those sites are called gray market. The way they do it is they label it as not for human consumption.
Yeah. Or research use only.
Research use only. Yep. That's how they label it.
Yeah.
Yep. Some of them get shut down though.
FDA does supposedly shut the big ones down.
They're trying to crack down.
But we'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by.